Alright, so today we're going to be talking about improving in Super Smash Bros., how to do it the fastest way in my opinion, and this doesn't just apply to Melee, this applies to all the games as well, so if you play Ultimate, this will help you out tremendously. It's a very good way. It's not going to give you like instant improvement, but it's going to make the process of getting better just a lot easier, a lot more comprehensible, and feel a lot more tangible as well. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I make other types of guides on this channel. I might be making... I'm on break now, so I'll be able to make a lot more guides and videos as well. So make sure that you subscribe. Also like this video and comment down below on what guides specifically you want to see. Because, you know, I could make all these guides, but, you know, sometimes I might make a guide that's too basic for you guys. Sometimes I'll make something that's too complicated. So I want to make sure that I'm making the right stuff. Now, improving in Smash Brothers, I like to think of it as a sort of triangle or a pyramid with three main components. So first you have what is known as isolated practice. Now, what is isolated practice? This is obviously pretty self-explanatory. It's offline in like 20XX or Uncle Punch. When you're practicing tech skill, your punish game, movement, all the stuff that you can just practice all by yourself in your room without needing other people to help you. I think at the beginning, when you're first trying to improve, this is the most important thing. Like, honestly, no matter what level you're at, this is probably the most important thing. Even at like top levels where you can or higher levels where you feel very confident with moving with your character and your punish game, it's still important to practice and rehearse that stuff every single day. You know, warm up before each play session. That's a critical thing. Make sure that you're warmed up before you play, because it's very hard to learn from your matches if you're not warmed up and you're playing worse. Because obviously if you lose, it's probably because you're not warmed up, which, you know, you don't want that to be one of the reasons why you're losing. You want to make sure that you're warmed up. And okay, the reason I'm losing is because I have, say, bad habits in tech chase situations or whatever, but, you know, yeah, just make sure that you're warmed up so that way it makes the entire process a lot easier. The keys to isolated practice are making sure that you understand your character. Your movement is critical, because it doesn't matter how well you're reading somebody if you can't move and execute. So make sure that you can do like everything you need to, everything that you would need to do in a match. So let's say you're playing Falcon, practice dash dancing like across the stage in place. See how long you can go with your dash dance. See how short you can go. Practice just dash dancing with different like patterns and stuff. Dash dancing forwards, backwards, and overall just make sure that you have complete control over your dash dance movement. And then that takes us to the next step, which is in-game playing and experience. Alright. So this is obviously, you know, you're playing matches in tournaments or on rollback. Well, tournaments are on rollback now, but you get the idea. It's gaining the experience of things that you can't do by yourself. So reading your opponent, conditioning, mix-ups, even edge guarding can be pretty hard to practice isolated just by yourself. So you're gonna need somebody else to do that. Picking up on people's habits and having people punish your habits, conditioning you, and other stuff. The stuff that, the basically intangible stuff that you can't really practice by yourself. This is what you want to be doing when you're playing in game. Now, after you play in game, that brings you to the next step, which is out of game analysis. Alright. So, you've just played the game. You lost, say, 2-1 against your opponent in tournament, or 1-2, and you want to know what's going on. The key to this out-of-game analysis is to pick one thing that you did wrong. Alright, the key, when you're improving in Melee, very rarely is it a matter of, oh, do this good thing more. It's usually do this bad thing less, or at least mix it up. So, if you're shield grabbing, that's a bad habit that you want to get rid of. Just always shield grabbing. The key to that is just, instead of always shield grabbing, how about always nair out a shield, or always wave dash out a shield? Learn what options you have and eat away at the muscle memory that your shield grabbing habit has, and then eventually you'll realize, hey, every type of shield pressure can be beaten in some way, and you'll be able, and especially at low levels where people aren't exactly the most technically proficient yet, you can get a lot of free hits off of them just by not grabbing or not rolling out a shield and understanding your other options. Let's say the bad habit that you found when playing, or something bad that you saw, was that you always recover in the same way, and you might say, okay, maybe I should shine stall more often, or use more angles when recovering. Or let's say you always side B above the ledge. That's something that Falco players love to do, or they just miss, like me. I always miss the ledge whenever I try to side B. Practice sweet spotting the ledge, practice maybe shortening. But you see, you want to focus on one thing, because obviously when you're not good at the game, there's a lot you can improve on, but it's a lot easier if you just handle it in small steps, and it'll feel a lot more, tangible if you do it one step at a time. So back to my original example with Falcon and dash dancing. All right, isolated practice. This kind of works in a cycle. So let's say you start out with isolated practice. Is dash dancing, right? You do all these dash dancing drills. So in game, you try to whiff punish certain aerials with your dash dance movement, and then out of game analysis, you realize, hey, maybe I'm too far away when I try to whiff punish something with my dash dance. Let's say I'm playing against Fox. I try to dash dance his nair, but I miss. A lot of the times I'm too late and I get shined for it, or I just get hit for it. So then what does that mean? It means you should be dash dancing a lot closer to your opponent, getting more comfortable. Sometimes out of game analysis can sometimes lead you back to in-game playing an experience, and it kind of loops like this. So in that case, it's just, there's not really much isolated practice you could go for, but it's really just a matter of, just do this instead. But an example would be, say, I missed a lot of ledge dashes when I was playing. I was working on ledge options with, say, Sheik or somebody. You're playing, every time you're on the ledge, you're trying to mix it up, do all these options, and you realize as in dash, or missing a ledge dash a lot. So you practice ledge dashing, and then you play the game, and you start ledge dashing a lot better. So that's an example of how this growth could be a lot more tangible. Just because, hey, you might have been playing neutral terribly. That's why you're on the ledge. That's, why you're in these edgeguard situations. But, you practice ledge dashing, and you improve at ledge dashing. That one thing, maybe you weren't spacing correctly. Maybe you weren't getting the best follow-ups off grab. It doesn't matter. You want to work on one specific thing and improve on it. So out of game analysis, you realize you sucked at ledge dashing, you work on it a lot, and then the next time you play, it should be a lot better. Or maybe not a lot better, but it should be a bit better. Always focus on one thing at a time. So yeah, this is basically one of the keys to improving. Also, out of game analysis, this could also include, if you're not sure how to fix something, always watch the pros. Always watch, if you play Falco, watch Mango. If you play Marth, watch Zane. If you play Fox, watch Leffen or IBDW. If you play Falcon, watch Wizzy, S2J, None. There are a lot of Falcons you can watch if you play Falcon. If you play Sheik, watch Plup and Spark and all these guys. If you play Puff, watch Hungrybox. Like, make sure that if you don't have the answers, obviously they're top players. They have the answers, so you can watch them in those specific situations. So back to the topic of, say, out of shield options, and you're always grabbing out of shield, well, what should I do instead? Or what could I do instead? You could watch players who have very good out of shield games. Mango, one of the biggest things in his game is to punish things out of shield by wave dash forward and shine. And obviously that turns into a mix-up where he might wave shine, he might shine grab, he might shine into an aerial, you know, but that's something he likes to do a lot because he's a very aggressive player and he wants to get those openings. So yeah, that's basically it. If you just go with the cycle, I think you'll really improve. I think this is one of the best ways to improve. Just going into your match experience, figure out what you're doing wrong, what one thing that you're doing wrong, see if it's something that you can practice or if it's just something you need to adjust in game to. Usually technical errors, isolated practice will fix that, but if it's just, oh, dash dance closer to the opponent so that way you can actually be in a position to punish them, it's just play better and get a better feeling for it. So yeah, I think this, and obviously this doesn't only apply to melee, as I said, it could apply to ultimate. So let's say, I don't know, I'm not really a big ultimate player, but let's say you play Lucina, and you so you're practicing doing your aerials, jumping around the stage, all this other stuff, kill combos or whatever, and in game you keep getting shield grab. So what do you need to know? Oh, practice spacing, practice landing with your aerials instead. You know, that's just an example. Or maybe you're juggling the opponent and they always keep falling down to the ground when Lucina has a pretty good juggle game. So you could practice saying that's something that you wouldn't need to practice isolated by yourself. You could just play matches and get a better feel of what works and doesn't work. So let's say they keep fast fall air dodging. Well, we need an option to potentially frame trap that. So out of game analysis, that's what we do. We figure out some setups or whatever for juggling, getting them off stage for edge guarding maybe. And yeah, so this doesn't only apply to melee. This applies to most fighting games, honestly. Or most games, period. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something today. I'll be back with more videos later this week. Obviously, make sure that you subscribe so that way you don't miss them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.